Hello world. So I am continuing to kind of document my meal plan and what I eat throughout the day. I had kind of strayed off of my diet for a bit over the summer, and it definitely makes a difference. So I'm back on it, and I've lost about 10 pounds in the last 90 days. Just going back to doing my morning concoction and my other video that I posted, and then trying to just clean up the diet again. So I definitely try to focus on a heavier breakfast or a larger breakfast, and then I taper down my meals throughout the day. So I have a smaller lunch and smaller dinner, so I'm able to digest my food throughout the day and not go to bed on a heavy stomach. And that's what I found personally that works best for me. Everybody's body's different, but that's what helps me. So today we have ground chicken, and I like to season it with my trusty base seasonings here. So we have the garlic and onion powders, salt and pepper, and then I always butcher the pronunciation of this. It's the Worcestershire sauce. So I personally like it, maybe not for everybody, but you can always adjust your seasoning to your liking. So I make that, and then I will add some eggs to it for breakfast, and cheddar cheese. So I am following a food chart right now, and cheddar cheese is one of the cheeses that is okay to consume, and I haven't seen any issues with it. So I have cut down on my cheese intake because I am a cheese fiend, but I get a little dose out of it there. And then sourdough bread is actually good for your carbs in the morning. Having some carbs does help process the protein that you're eating and digest and break it down and absorb it into your system. So I try to go with as few ingredients as possible, and I look at the ingredients because a lot of people have this. They have a mutation in their MTHFR gene, and it can cause a lot of different issues. So for me, I don't process one of the B vitamins very well. It doesn't absorb and turn into folate or folic acid. I always mix that up. But a lot of people have this mutation in their gene, and it does cause a variety of issues. So I happened to get a gene testing or genetic testing a couple of years ago. So I found out quite a few things about myself, which was interesting. And moving on, for lunch, I like to make a pasta. It's brown rice pasta because right now I'm not supposed to eat anything with like semolina or wheat or anything like that as I'm following this chart. This is my favorite marinara sauce, the Mezzetta. It has very natural basic ingredients in it and no sugar, so that's my personal favorite, but you can always, change that up, but try to look at the ingredients and try to like rule out the sugar or any weird additives or anything like that as best you can. And then I'll also make like a sweet potato. I always like having this on hand, so I can always add it to a meal and make like a bowl with chicken or steak or whatever protein that I'm eating that day. So those are always beneficial. And then at night, I'll eat something kind of light, maybe like a soup or a small sandwich or something with, like more natural ingredients. I try to avoid additives and that sort of thing, preservatives in the food as best I can. And then very important, we got to have the blueberries before bed. You usually want to give yourself probably like a 3-hour window before eating and going to bed. But frozen blueberries, actually, there's something that occurs within the blueberries that increases their benefit. So I always just buy a big bag. I prefer the wild blueberries, and then I add cinnamon and salt to it, and I let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes so it softens up and the salt kind of withdraws the juice from the berries, and it makes kind of like a nice, almost like a sorbet or it's similar to like an acai bowl or something, to that effect. So that's essentially what I do as far as eating. And then of course I try to get my workouts in as well, and I've done some videos on that, but I'll do some follow-ups and updates just to keep things fresh. And it's great to see you all. All right, have a good day. Bye.